The term handcrafted gets thrown around a lot these days. It's become a movement, a trend that can obscure the passionate folks who actually make amazing things by hand. Their remarkable stories need to be told, and I'm going to find them. I'm Anthony Bourdain, and this is Raw Craft. Elizabeth Brim is something of a rebel. She spent the last 20 years upending the idea that blacksmithing is a trade reserved exclusively for those who possess a Y chromosome. As an artist blacksmith, she uses traditional smithing techniques to create work that stunningly evokes soft forms, such as flowing textiles, cushions, and delicate flowers. I've known Elizabeth for several years, and the gorgeous, unexpected contradictions of her work never cease to amaze me. Her art creates the delicate out of iron, a combination that resonated even further when I finally got the chance to visit her workshop.
Hey, I'm so happy that you're here.
Good to see you again. What are you working on?
I'm gonna make a flower. I love flowers and I like to make flowers, but I don't like to make a daffodil or a tulip. I have done a lot of blacksmithing exhibits, and so many people would make these flowers that were sheet metal, just bent up.
Right.
So I was like, I'm sick of seeing these wimpy little flowers, you know. I'm gonna make some muscular flowers. Mm-hmm. These flowers have talons, so they're not particularly friendly flowers.
Right.
Okay, so we're gonna go from this to this.
Okay, that I want to see.
Then I'm gonna flop it over.
Elizabeth once told me if you want brute force, hire a brute. You have to be awfully tough, though, to make metalwork look this easy.
I've got this one made already, so what I want to do is make this one the same size as this, so then my petals will end up to be relatively consistent.
Uh-huh.
When I first got into blacksmithing, my friend said, well, if you wear a string of pearls, you'll be ladylike. So my mother told me that it was not a ladylike thing to do. She did not approve.
Right. Did you ever come around on this issue?
Oh, yeah, she's very proud of me now.
Oh, you would so like my family. I come from a family of female fighters. Being told it's not ladylike, that anything is not ladylike, is just not a refrain that you would ever hear around my house.
So the next thing I'm gonna do is forge weld this at the end. And this time I'm gonna hammer it down good. See that flux vaporizing like that?
Elizabeth is also incredibly patient. A single petal for just one of her flowers takes around 10 painstaking steps, each involving many repetitions.
You're using something hardened and flexible to make something that's presumably delicate and malleable. Why?
I think I just kind of fell into it. And at one point I was thinking about that fairy tale, the 12 Dancing Princesses, where they would get out of the castle every night and dance their shoes into tatters.
They could tell from the worn slippers, the shoes that they'd been out partying.
And so I thought, well, if I made indestructible shoes, those princesses could party forever.
The princesses can party forever, and Elizabeth's flowers will never, ever wilt.
So that's coming along pretty well.
Looking very, very pretty.
So now I make 5 of those.
Just like that, right?
So here it is, and it's got a centerpiece, and it's welded at the bottom.
So I hear you love 2-pack.
Uh-huh.
Why 2-pack?
There's a Tupac quote. He goes, I'm so harsh because I'm so soft, or something to that effect. So some of his songs, like Dear Mama and Brenda's Got a Baby, you know those? They're very sensitive, and And then he's got the other ones, like really, really mean ones, when he and Biggie were quarreling. But I just think I think people who are very, very sensitive a lot of times have to cover that with a hard facade. And I would love to aspire to that. I'm very sentimental. I'm very, very compassionate. And I wish I could be a thug. Okay. Can you twist this a little bit?
Which way?
That way.
Good.
Nope, a little bit more. Okay, perfect. Yeah.
Looks good. Getting there.
Yeah, it's getting there. We're going up to the Penland School in the Penland Iron Studio. I'm teaching a class right now, and I'm excited to see my students inflate some of their pieces they've been working on.
It's only fitting that Penland School of Crafts is the place that nurtured Elizabeth's creative career. Pendulum was started in 1929 as a weaving school. Founder Lucy Morgan wanted to teach women a craft they could use to support themselves. In the craft world today, this place is still a very big deal.
You're not messing around here. This is a well-equipped facility.
Isn't this beautiful? We
Wow.
are so, so, so very proud of this place. This is Dave.
Yeah.
So I'll call all of the students together so we can get ready to do the inflation that you came up here to see.
Yes, right. We're going to inflate metal.
We are going to inflate metal.
Oh, all right.
It's going to be a lot of fun. All right, everybody. Rachel has some things to inflate, and Pam is going to have hers ready in just a minute. But we'll go ahead and start with a plain one of mine. And just to give you a background about this, we invented this years ago at Penland. I had made a tiara, and I wanted to make a pillow. Like they bring the tiara out to Miss America. A bunch of my friends and I were sitting around drinking beer one night, and we decided, what if we welded two pieces flat together and put a pipe in, and then shoot compressed air in here? This one is ready. That's good. When I ask you for this, hand this to me. Okay. All righty.
If it opens up enough like I want it to, I'm gonna cut off the top and make them into cups. Woo!
Nice.
All
Looks
right.
good.
Yeah, that worked out.
Nice. Nice.
Yay! Woo!
Wow. It looks like a bread roll.
Watching metal inflate like a party balloon is undeniably awesome.
Isn't that cool looking?
That's
though?
gorgeous.
Yeah.
But it's even more fun to see Elizabeth's spirit of innovation and playfulness being passed on to her students.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Awesome.
Thanks for your help.
What's next with what you learn here? What's next? What are you going to do with this information?
One of the great things about being here and why I wanted to be here with Elizabeth is the possibility, the sense of possibility, where now wherever I go, I can see how things are made. I can feel like I can make them. I don't have to buy that tool. You know, I can see how the tools are made, how entire buildings are made more. So I really enjoy that, and I think it's going to help me. My whole thinking about making is changing.
Elizabeth is inspiring new generations of craftspeople with her work at Penland. This serviceberry tree was a collaboration with the entire community. Students and locals alike helped form and finish the hundreds of flowers that fill its branches.
Now, when you first started working with iron, did you anticipate making money on it? Or did it matter?
Well, originally, I was married when I started my craft life. And I was brought up to believe that I needed some man to take care of me and to pay the bills and to make sure the oil in my car was changed and my tires were good. And but that didn't work out so great. So when I moved to Penland, we had to sell the house that we had in Georgia. So I moved here and I got a job working at the Penland kitchen full-time to pay my bills. And I also rented out rooms in my house to other people who were artists who wanted to stay in the area. And the house, when I got it, was full of termites, which is the way I was actually even able to afford it. And it was very inexpensive. And so I'm really proud that I was able to pay that house off by selling my work. And I was able to pay that house and all my property off and build that studio, pay off both my cars, and have health insurance.
Cheers to that.
Elizabeth is sort of a perfect example of somebody who's chosen to go against the grain, who's chosen to do a difficult thing, who's decided to follow a passion. I think she's a perfect example of the type of people we're celebrating. An artist, a professional, an educator, somebody unlike just about everybody else. She's someone I look up to. And, you know, as a father of a young girl, somebody who I hope my daughter grows up to be like.